Hey everybody, it's Lon.TV, and we've got a really cool retro gaming Kickstarter that a fan of the show has put together, Sean Green. This is called the Bliss-box, and what this does is it lets you connect your old Nintendo controllers or your modern GameCube controllers, whatever you got really will connect to this, and then you can plug it into your computer, to your Ouya console, to an Android device, Mac or PC, Linux. It really doesn't matter as long as it supports a standard USB game controller. This is going to work without a driver, and the Kickstarter is running right now. I've already made my contribution to the effort here. He needs to get a little bit more money over the next 23 days or so, so hopefully we can draw some attention to this, because this is a single device that works with just about anything you can think of across multiple console generations. In fact, they've got a huge compatibility list here of a whole bunch of different stuff, even things like ColecoVision controllers, 3DO, Panasonic controllers, you name it, there is compatibility with this, and I think it's a really awesome project, so I'm hoping we can do this little video here and bring some more attention to it. Now, what's neat about this is that, again, no drivers required, plugs in via USB. The game controllers are adapted to the device through these little cables here. They have HDMI connectors on the end of them. These are not for video, but just for the controller's electrical signals. And you plug in this instance, like a NES controller into here, and then just pop this into the HDMI port on one of the 4 inputs that this device has. Now, what you're supposed to do with it is get your game controllers connected first and then plug it in, but you can reset each individual input individually. So if you wanted to add another controller to it while it's already been connected, you can do the reset on one individual port and then connect things up to it. So really cool. The other neat thing is that it's smart enough to know exactly what you have plugged into it also. So if you have something like a PlayStation 2 controller that supports a certain type of button press where it can detect how hard you're pushing the button, this will work with that with its built-in firmware that is also upgradable via BIOS updates that you can download. So a lot of functionality here. I'm going to pull up my settings here in Windows so you can see how it configures itself. Basically, as we can see on this window here, the Blissbox shows up 4 times because each input is its unique, basically a unique USB connection to the computer. So you have each controller showing up on its own port, and that's really good for emulator compatibility and other things. So let's take a look and see how it runs. So we're going to pull up the Dolphin Emulator here. I've got Mario running here in the background, so I can unpause that, and as you can see, things are running really nicely here. I can jump more, basically it feels as precise as it does on the GameCube, actually. It really is a really nice experience here. So things really respond very well to button pushes and everything else, but there's also some additional features that may not have existed on the GameCube or the original console you're playing on. So for example, as you can see, when I move the D-pad here, he doesn't move at all because that D-pad's not supported in this game. But if I hold down the 2 left shoulder buttons here and then hit Z, it's going to go into the pause menu, but when I go back out, I can actually use the D-pad now to control Mario. So it's basically mapped the D-pad to the analog stick. So it gives you some additional functionality, especially if you want to get some precise controls, or maybe in some area you want to use the D-pad versus the analog stick. You have the option to do that. So that's one of the things that it does. I can also turn it off using the same controls. So now, as you can see here, Mario is no longer responding to my D-pad. If I go in and unplug the controller, what it does is it sends the start button over the device automatically. So if somebody accidentally kicks out the controller while you're playing a game, it will automatically pause. It also supports hot swapping on particular ports too. So I can pull out the GameCube controller here and plug in an N64 controller, and after a second or two, it will map the controls almost perfectly to the GameCube controller, the N64 controller here that we just plugged in. So really cool. As you can see, the analog stick works, the pause button is in the right spot. So it really is pretty smart about trying to get the mappings right on each controller that's plugged in, so you can just hot swap out one classic game controller for another right in the middle of the game. So that is a pretty neat little feature too. It does support force feedback on controllers that support it. I think you might need to plug in some power, and there's a power adapter for that. Here it is on the front of the device by the USB input plug. I should mention that this is a prototype. This is the first prototype we've had on the show, so it will look a little bit different when it comes out, but this basic functionality will be about the same. So really cool stuff. As you can see, it's got some intelligence behind it. It is upgradable via some flash updates that you'll be able to download from them as they're moving forward. And this is a real product that, if we can get it funded, I think will really work well. I'm not being paid to do this. I'm actually paying into it. I really want to have this device for my retro gaming, because I got to send this prototype back back to him. So I'm thinking this would be something that all of you will find interesting too. So that is the Bliss-box from Sean Green, and you'll have some more information down in the video description below, and I really hope we can support a fan of the show in his effort here. This is Lon.TV. Thanks for watching.